guys, so this is Cowboy Ranch Life YouTube channel. My name is Winston, and today we're chopping wheatlage and haylage from hay and wheat. And so we're going to go through a little bit of that, and then we'll get started. So without any further ado, let's hit it. Alright guys, so we got the silage chopper hooked up to the cart, and we're getting ready to go cut some silage. Got everything hooked up there. Dad built a bracket for the monitor to hang in the cab, so we're good with that. Put another chute extension on it to get it tall enough to shoot into the wagon. Put a different cable on it to run from the bottom here all the way to the top to adjust the point on the chute to go up and down. And if you guys notice, we did have to just patch our old one. It's not pretty, but the guy that was remaking our new door has not got it finished yet, and so unfortunately we just had to patch this, but it doesn't look too bad actually. So anyway, we're just getting all ready to chop. So with no further ado, let's go head to the field. So first we're gonna mow. We've got a New Holland, and it's a disc bind 316 is what it's called. It's 16 foot wide, so it takes a 16-foot cut. And if you guys can see that, there's rollers underneath there. So with that said, let's get up here. And just so you know, this is setting down on the ground, so this is mowing height. It normally goes higher than that, but is also a Momax is what it's called. We'll open this up. If you guys can see, there's all the knives. So, but that's 16 foot of cut. So that's what we're gonna mow this wheat with. Actually, you already have a little bit. So there we go. So there's the disc bind. John Deere's are called Mocos, so that's what, if you hear me call it that, that's just because I'm used to that name. But there's the hitch set up on it. It's kind of a funky looking hitch, but it just unhooks here, so that part stays with the drawbar if you ever need to unhook it quickly. So, and a lot of grease points on those. Every one of these has grease points behind it, and then so if you count them all, 2 up there, 1 down there, then you've got all your grease points in that plastic box there with all your gear stuff and your belts. But that's what it is. So without further ado, let's get it into action. The reason that we're only running on 10-foot width instead of the full 16 on the Moco is because it's a lot easier for the chopper to pick up a smaller windrow. Otherwise you can run the whole 16 foot. But that's the reason for leaving the 6 foot on the outer.
So then turning around, you basically don't have to do anything with the neck. It just floats out there. And then you're coming to the spot where you want to start mowing again. And also the tongue, as you can see, the conditioner moves back and forth. That way. So you can cut on either side, but since I'm going around the field this way, I'm going to be cutting on the right side of me. So then when you're ready, you just let it down and go. So that's what mowing with New Holland consists of.
This is the difference between chopped and non-chopped wheat. You can see there's the windrow of non-chopped, and I grabbed some that had accidentally spilled, and that's what chopped looks like. Alright, so we're back at the pit here, and we just started putting it in. This is the first 3 loads. And as you can see, this is the old silage, which will be corn silage and Sudan silage mixed. And then this will be the wheatlage and haylage. And we put it up side by side. It does not hurt or affect each other. So that's what that is. That's the first 3 loads. That's about 30 tons or 60,000 pounds of feed right there. And so each of the wagons loads holds about 10 ton or 20,000 pounds. So that's kind of the goal. We plan to fill the pit, or at least a lot of the majority, hopefully. And we push it up with it's a 450 CT case skid steer. Works good for everything we need for that part of it. We use it a lot around the farm. We also use a dozer when it gets to the bigger piles, like this pile up here. But otherwise, we try to just do it with the skid steer. But you also need to run it down. If you can see it, I've ran it down and smashed it. That's for compaction. The more you get the air out, the less it will rot. So that's also why, like, people can stuff, so then you don't get the air in it, and then it won't rot in the jars. It'll just be that way. So anyway, this is the first 3 loads. Alright guys, and it's bright and sunny out, so that's why I'm squinting. But if you guys can see this, we just dumped a load of silage in here, and we've got a tank on the back of a four-wheeler. Now the tank's got inoculant in it, and the reason we spray inoculant on it is to help the fermenting process. Also, we believe that it takes oxygen out, so to ferment, we aren't fermenting it into, when people think of fermenting, they probably think of like alcohol and stuff like that. We aren't fermenting in that way. It's like preserving it is how we're keeping it, and that's why you spray inoculant on it. So I've got this gun, and it's got an on-demand pump that puts inoculant in, and I'll show you the bottle of that inoculant here in a second, and you just shoot it all over silage. Now you have an allotted time period that you shoot it on the silage to give it the exact dosage, or the correct dosage, and then you just pull the four-wheeler out of the way and push it on all the way up back onto the silage pile. So with that said, let's get to pushing.
Alright, so hope you guys loved that video. If you did, don't forget to put a like on this video. It'll really help us out, and it gives us a lot of inspiration when we see all the likes. So, with that, we're going to carry on to haylage, which you will hopefully be able to see. You will be able to see. If you like, subscribe, and comment, so don't forget to subscribe to see all the other great videos, which will be haylage next. So with that, we'll catch you on the next one.